Welcome back, my dear students. So we learned a lot on the last couple lectures, right? We learned how to use prepare statements. That's pretty cool. But we learned how to fetch it, how to fetch the data. Why? Well, we learned how to prepare it. We learned how to bind it. We learned how to execute it. Basically, you're gonna follow the same steps. But the last one here, binding the result, you only do this when you want to fetch some data, right? When you want to get the result out. But let's actually test this out with insert categories here. So this functionality super simple. This is what we got right here. So right here we are inserting some data in this field here. Now this is not a, it's not a really, this is not coming from outside because the user's in here. But what if the user knew our pages and they want to put all the queries here on the URL? They knew everything, right? They know how to get to our pages, and they know how to put queries in the URL. So they can still do SQL injection even though they're not inside our application from outside. So how we do this here? First of all, here we're checking for submit. We're checking if it's empty. Here's what we're doing this. So the first step is replacing this, oops, with the prepare statement function. We first want to pass the connection. Then we come here. We replace this variable, of course, with, you don't have to, but I like to do it, stnt there. And let's just take this out and give it and put it in one line. Values. And remember, we don't pass the whole value, we pass the question mark. Now here you don't have to do this because you're gonna do a couple things here. First of all, you're gonna say my SQLi stmt, and you're gonna bind the params here. Super simple. Let me see if I remember correctly. Yes, param. Now, when you're using a lot of frameworks, you're not really doing this. This is when you're doing PHP from scratch. So when you see that I forget some of the function, guys, PHP is huge, and I use a lot of tools every day. I don't code from scratch every single day. So it's kind of, it's hard to keep everything intact. You have to keep going back to the documentation and taking a look at it. So when you see me forget stuff, it's because, that happens when you use a lot of tools and when you don't use this every day. So but the concept is the same. I mean, if once you learn it, you don't have to really do everything from scratch. You already know this stuff. You just have to remember the functionalities and the parameters. So we pass a statement here, and we're gonna say the statement is gonna be a string, and the string is going to be the cat title. If I can, that's what we want to fetch, so we can insert from the input, and then you just execute this. And stmt execute. Okay, and what are we executing? Well, we're executing this string, or I mean the statement. That's it. And then here, what you can do is you can grab this guy here and pass it right here, and you can check for to see if it works. Let's save this and let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll fix it. But let's add something. Let's just add Python there. You can see it works. If we make some type of mistake here and we pass that, let's save it. Come back here, refresh, and we can see that we have a problem. And this is the type of errors that hackers will see when they try to do this. If you have the errors turned on your website, so make sure that if you are in production, turn them off, because you don't want them to see stuff like this, because that gives them an idea what they can do. Okay, they see the functions that you're using, and they see your path and all that. Okay, so this is the insertion. Really simple, guys. The same thing with all of them. You prepare it, you bind it, you execute it. That's all you're going to be doing for all of them. See you in the next lectures.